There's a story out of Georgia that came out that a guy by the name of Antonio Lamar Banks, 25 years old, he was arrested for felony gang, battery, and child molestation charges in Georgia. Now, this guy was going to get into a gang, and they told him, look, all you have to do is sex yourself into the gang. And a lot of times back in the day, women that wanted to join gangs were sexed into a gang. And so what would happen with that situation, basically the woman had to be with a bunch of the gang members at one time or whatever for her to get into the gang. But the guys used to be jumped into the gang. You know, they fight about 10, 12, 15 dudes for so long. And then after that, hey, they're in the gang. You're making guys sex themselves into a gang. And this evil guy here, he sat there, took a underage child to a gang hideout place with a fellow accomplice gang member, held this kid against his will, burned him with cigarettes, and started to perform oral sex on the victim. And the victim was a male. What has happened in our community to the men? We see this evident all over the place. Not men anymore. You're not even getting jumped into your criminal organizations now. Now you're sitting up there molesting children. You know, at one point in time back in the day, they used to say, watch your daughters because somebody may abduct them or rape them. But now you better watch your sons. Now you better watch your sons because they'll get your son just as much as they'll get your daughter nowadays. You know, we have a big issue with a lot of black males in our community. We had a lot of them grow up with their mama, their grandmama, their sister, and aunties. And they're literally male versions of those women. Now, is it their fault why they're in those situations and why they grew up that way without a father? No, it's not their fault. But at the end of the day, you still have to take responsibility on what you do. And even if you're not around men, get around some good men to teach you. Because we have a lot of guys running around in our community. They're very messy, catty, jealous-minded, willing to kill another black person because of that. And we don't have no real men out there like we used to. And the good brothers is out there as real men. They doing their thing. And sometimes, you know, I get why sometimes the women are single. Who wants to be in a relationship with a guy like that who isn't a man? This guy can't even get jumped in. He's up there fooling with underage children. I mean, man, y'all that weak these days? Is you gotten that bad? They don't fist fight no more. They shoot everybody because they don't want to take a loss with a fist fight, even though somebody can come back from that. I mean, it's just a sad state of affairs going on within our community. I understand that good black men are scarce. Good black men are a high commodity. I can say that as well, because look at all the guys that you have to deal with within the 80% we talked about before. Those guys are plentiful. Don't want to have family. Don't want to take care of their kids. Want to fool with every other woman, or they doing some down low stuff. And then you got the 20% of the good brothers that want to do the right thing, trying to build, trying to have great careers, entrepreneurs, etc. I mean, it's just a messed up situation. And this is why we want to teach more and more how these men can learn things so they can grow to be better people. Because this situation that we see here is just horrible. They need to throw him underneath the jail. But the ongoing problem of family structure within our community can stop a lot of the stuff that we see going on as well. You may not agree with the guy. Y'all may broke apart, but we need two parents to rear the children at all times, especially when that son get around 12, 13 and up. Mama, you can't deal with him no more. The daddy got to come in because he's making that transition. He's not your little boy anymore, unfortunately. He's going to be a man. But this situation is just more evidence that the 80% is just running amok in our community. And we have to keep calling out that 80% in order to save the group. The 20%, you must call them out. That mentality, thinking you could just commit crimes, hurting black people, and we should be okay with it. And then when people bring it up, you want to point other things out that has nothing to do with it at that time, period. But this situation, I don't know who came up with that. At one point in time, someone probably got themselves hurt or killed for even mentioning to do something like that as an initiation, because you're dealing with a real man, and real men don't touch no doggone kids. All the women out there you can talk to, and you're going to sit there and touch a kid. But this is the time period that we're living in, and it's really sad, and it definitely got to change. Make sure to check out our Advised Media Network Teespring store. Support the show by purchasing merchandise. Also, you join us on Patreon for a minimum of $2 a month and also a minimum of $5 a month, whatever tier that you select. Each tier give you different options. Thank you for those who have joined us on Patreon and continuing to do so to help us reach our goal of 3,000 patrons. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more news stories.